Westeros has been sleeping for quite a while now, much like all the dragons that were mentioned in the original show but never got to see the light, something this prequel series will try to showcase, together with all the infighting during the Civil War era that occupies the Targaryens family, and of course the madness associated with one of the most famous families in the story, something we're hopeful that the series will be able to explain.
Dreams didn't make us kings. Dragons did.
After 3 years, we're finally going back to Westeros in the upcoming prequel series of the beloved Game of Thrones series, House of the Dragon. The hit HBO series captured fans and audiences of all ages. However, as the series started to close in rather than going out with a bang, it left us with a sour note. And fans have been eager to know more about the universe, and that's why we're also excited about the upcoming prequel series, which according to many will be an even better version of the world of Westeros depicted on the live action. The prequel series was never planned. There were some scripts here and there, but nothing was confirmed. And it seems like the significant number of unhappy viewers is probably what caused the whole process to begin, with their wishes being fulfilled as they all wanted a return of some Game of Thrones storyline, hence this spin-off series. Based on George R.R. Martin's 2018 novel Fire and Blood, the House of the Dragon series will premiere on August 21st, 2022 with a 10-episode runtime and will tell a backstory of the Targaryen dynasty, with the setting of the series taking place 200 years before the events of the original show. One of the main things about the original show was the way all of us connected to the actors and their roles, which is why we think HBO has been so open about who is in the House of the Dragon series cast and who's playing which character, news that came through just as the series started filming more than a year ago. Not to dwell too much on the cast, but the main group includes the likes of Paddy Considine, Emily Carey, Olivia Cook, Emma Darcy, Matt Smith, Millie Alcock, Eva Best, Steve Toussaint, Rhys Ifans, Will Johnson, Theo Nade, John McMillan, Jefferson Hall, who will be playing two roles, twins Ryan Core, David Horovich, and so many more. Knowing that the series will be focusing on the House of Targaryen and everything that surrounds the bunch, you should be expecting ambition, incest, and winged fire-breathing dragons, so many more numbers than what we've been able to see so far, with the flying reptiles having an even bigger role in the events to come.
History does not remember blood. It remembers names.
In terms of actual details about the plot of the series, we got nothing outside the trailer that was released less than a month ago. Footage that showcased the cast members in different settings, smart way to keep us intrigued with something we've already known and keep the fine line between spoilers and still unconfirmed details about the series. The all-around story is known from the novel, but we think that we'll have something more than that, something that will blow our minds away and let us explore just how strong, powerful, and zealous the House of Targaryen was back in the day, and why they were depicted the way they were in the Game of Thrones. Something this prequel series will try to do to capture the moment and let us in on the bigger picture about one of the most prominent houses of Westeros. One of the most interesting things to see is where everything went wrong and just how the fighting within the family brought the whole house to where we saw them in the original show. Because let's face it, we all know that the Targaryens were dysfunctional long before Viserys and Daenerys came along. The prequel series in its nature will surely also reflect upon the other Westerosi houses, including the likes of the Baratheons, the Lannisters, and the Tyrells, which will come with their own origin stories and how they developed in the crazy world in which the dragons were the driving force behind the success and conquering of the House of Targaryens. In other words, the House of the Dragon looks set to have the same mix of epic battles, betrayals, and political intrigue as its predecessor, with the only thing distinguishing the series being a prequel, and we know where it's heading. Given the link the Targaryens have with the dragon in Westeros, the creatures will undoubtedly occupy a large amount of space in the series. They'll be the key to everything. However, one thing we ought to know probably lies in the fact about which ones we're going to see.
What is this brief mortal life, if not the pursuit of legacy?
According to Pop Sugar, the next dragons will probably be part of the main story of the prequel series, a list compiled from all the details the novel has depicted around 4 years ago. In order to not spoil things, we'll not go deeper into it, but will rather include all of the dragons that the series will more than likely showcase. The list is comprised of Meleys, Vermax, Sea Smoke, Caraxes, Vagar, Sunfire, and Sarax. One dragon fans and all of us here hope to see is Balerion, the Black Dread, the most famous dragon from Martin's novels. However, knowing that the series will cover the time of the Civil War at the House of Targaryen, it's very unlikely that we're gonna see him, as he should be dead because of old age. He's the dragon that has been ridden by many Targaryens throughout his life and dies before the Civil War during the reign of Jaehaerys I. As a side note, don't leave out the possibility of us having a first and a closer look at the legendary dragon in a flashback or two, something that the studio might do just for the sake of the fans' desires being fulfilled, one of them at least. Outside of the dragons, the next big thing associated with the Targaryens is their madness, with Aerys II, the last Targaryen to sit on the Iron Throne, being referred to as the Mad King. Someone we've heard so much in the original show. It should be an exciting thing to see the connection between the two, with the series somehow being able to clarify the association between the Targaryens family and the infamous madness that consumes them. The Civil War era that will be shown in the series is a dark time in the Targaryens family, which is why we think a little humor will not harm anyone. A very unusual thing for a series like this, but given the time period and the heaviness of the show, we, the viewers, will surely want something to alleviate the whole thing, with us enjoying the show even more. With everything said and done, knowing the source material, we all want to see one complete series, a better narrative than what we've been offered by the likes of the Game of Thrones series, especially during the course of the last season, with the season itself being the most notable hardship in the entire franchise, despite the many instances of success that preceded it. Hard times for the fans, as it looked like the original show ran out of source material on which it would base the adaptation, something that should not be a problem for this series, as R.R. Martin has already completed his novel Fire and Blood, which coincidentally means that the hopes for a better story should be fulfilled before the credits start to roll. The expectations about the series are very high, and it's understandable as the predecessor set the bar way too high. However, knowing all of the crew members working on the series from behind the scenes, the actors who will be taking on some of the most famous characters of Westeros, and the source material, we think that we have nothing to worry about. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the prequel series? Do you think it can live up to the expectations of the fans around the world, according to you? What would you say could be the most exciting thing about the series, and why? But also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.